All right, guys. Thanks again for joining us. We try to get a variety of trainers, and I've got anytime I get a volunteer, it's great news. And we're talking about recruiting VIPs today, which is another great skill that we all have to could all get better at. So I'm gonna let Karmin talk about it all and take over. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for having me, Aaron. I actually just got back from California last night. I was in Sacramento for Dawn, my immediate upline's MDC video. Yes, so many faces on here that I just saw. So I have very detailed notes because I'm a bit jet lagged between leaving Cleveland to there to time changes and all the things. So I see lots of people on my team and all kinds of new faces. So this is super exciting. But yes, my name is Karmin Jokilehto. I live near Cleveland, Ohio. I have been with my Nate for 4 years, which is crazy because in a way it seems like way less than that. But I am market mentor and I actually ran restaurants. I managed restaurants for over 18 years. Was blessed with Dawn contacting me through her sister, a long-term relationship there, about the business, and I never looked back. So I've been doing this full time for 2.5 years now, and bartending is actually my side hustle, which kind of goes hand in hand with this because I get to get in front of lots of new faces just 2 nights a week to meet lots of new people and make lots of connections. So I'm going to hop right into it. VIP recruiting since the beginning has kind of been my thing. Because honestly, I got into it for the business. When I tried the products, my mind was blown after one wash. And if you know me, you know I'm the girl that has got to tell everybody about what I'm using, what I'm wearing, and where I'm going. So the VIP recruiting for me kind of just took off strong since the beginning. So there's 2 things that you're going to hear me say a lot over and over again tonight. And you've heard them before, but it's just because they're honestly that important. And the first one, which I know, the first one is consistency. And my upline actually, when I was just in Cali, told me when we were chatting, she said to everyone, she's like, look, like Karmin, you're the queen of consistency. And I really do pride myself on that because that is one huge part of this business. I cannot stress enough how important it is to be consistent on all the things in all the ways, no matter if you're dealing with a little bit of time a day, like I used to have when I was managing a restaurant, freaking 60 hours a week, or if you're able to, obviously, if you have a lot more time than that. You can't post when you feel like it or when you're in the mood or when things are going good. No matter what, you just have to be super consistent. And a little tough love here, okay? You cannot let it hurt your feelings when you get started and people closest to you are not feeling it, okay? I will be the first one to tell you, it took my sister, and I feel like we're pretty close. It took my very own sister 3 sampling packs and over 2 years for her husband to finally tell her that he wanted the products and they needed to sign up as a VIP. So I have to stress that because that's one thing I have often with so many new market partners, and you're so excited to share your new business, and your mom and your aunt are like, no, like we're not into it. And then you get your feelings hurt and you want to give up. Okay. So we got to just get that out of here right now. Okay. I am all about making new connections and being consistent. And this is just one of the ways that I'm able to bring on lots of new VIPs consistently. Okay. Everyone will come around. It's going to take some people watching you for 2 or 3 years to finally reach out and say like, okay, girl, like I need this shampoo, but you got to just trust it. Okay. So to me, consistency means every day. Okay. It means a few minutes here, a few minutes there. Every time you can share in your stories, do a reel, get on a live, or do a post. Okay. You're planting a seed. All right. So that is the second thing. Planting seeds is the key to everything. So planting seeds, okay, and I'm going to go into more into that in a second here, paired with consistency is how you're successful, okay? And it's just those 2 things. And I am telling you, if you go into every single day, no matter where you go, no matter what you're doing, no matter if you're online or at the store, you have to constantly plant seeds and you have to do it every day, okay? Now, I do a fair share of this. Obviously, everything was shut down, but now we're back in business. So I mean, I'm a little ridiculous. If I'm at the grocery store and there's like the self-checkout and I have extra minutes, I will go in the line. Like I will wait in the long line because I know that if I can make eye contact with somebody, I'll probably be able to get a Facebook connection or get something, right? So again, you can potentially plant these seeds everywhere you're going. And I'm talking about, in person, whether maybe you head to the restaurant 15 minutes early before your friends are arriving, or, like I said, I bartend. So this for me is huge. I talk to my team about this all the time because everyone wants to know when they see me, like, are you new here? We've never seen you before. I'm like, no, I'm here Mondays and Thursdays. And they're like, well, where the heck else do you work? And all I have to tell them, all I have to say is that I'm partnered with the #1 luxury hair care brand in the world. And everyone around is perking up and wanting to ask questions. Okay. And this is the thing, like, if I go into a shift and I don't leave with a Facebook page or an Instagram handle or something, I'm kind of disappointed for the day because that is how I go into every day. I try as fast as I can to get as many prospects that way. And when I talk about getting a Facebook, I know at first it's going to feel awkward. Like at first you're going to feel funky doing it, but trust me, after a while, you can't count on telling people to go, like giving them your business card. Like you can't count on that. You have to have a way to follow up. So, I mean, I could give you many examples, a couple weeks ago at the grocery store, just chatting it up with a lady in line. Before I know it, she's turning around and showing me a bald spot on her head. So I'm saying like, okay, like I tell her about all the things. And then she just quickly says like, okay, like we need to connect. So I just said, are you on Facebook? Let me add you. If not, I get a phone number. Okay. Cause now what I can do is within 48 hours, I can send a voice memo like, hey, Cindy, it was so nice meeting you today. I hope you're doing well. I just want to let you know that we can get you started on these products we were talking about. I simply need you to take my hair quiz. Okay. Now, before you all think it, I know. Okay. This hair quiz, sometimes it's iffy with the products, but I just do it because if you're like me and you grew up in the 80s, or maybe even after that, I don't know, you know that when we were teenagers, everybody loved to take the quizzes in the magazines, right? Like all the magazines, the Cosmopolitan, like you'd be at the doctor's office and you'd open up to the quiz and there'd be like 30 colors of pen on there and all the quizzes, if everybody took the quizzes. People just love this. For some reason, us women love taking quizzes. So I'm not kidding you. I can turn those quizzes, even though I really honestly don't pay much attention to the products, I look at the questions. I now have their answers and I can now follow up. So on a daily basis, I go into all these things just wanting to get quizzes and, as often and as quickly as you can, because you can convert those into VIPs rather quickly. Okay. Because all of a sudden it kind of just really looks like you're legit and you know what you're talking about. Right. And my girls, like we just talked about this because I got back at the Cleveland airport. I was delayed like everyone else in the world right now. And I went to a Panini's, which here in Ohio, everyone knows what that is. Ordered a quesadilla, ordered a Bloody Mary, and started talking to the woman next to me. In about 50 minutes, I signed her up on my phone as a VIP customer with the eyelash and brow serum and the eye wonder, or the eye serum, the eye smooth sale, right? So just started talking to her. And she's like, right away, no wonder that's what you do, your hair, right? So you just have to, it's all about finding those connections. And the more you do it, I promise you won't seem like the weirdo. You just have to get more and more comfortable doing it. And you're able to convert these people quickly, right? And in person, a lot of the time, if you are like me and you are just ridiculously passionate about this brand, it is very easy for people to feel it in person that it's not some joke. Like you're trying to help them. You really do have the secret sauce and you really can help, and that converts a lot quicker a lot of the time when you're doing it in person. Okay, so just getting that information, making the connections, planting the seeds, and doing it consistently is key. And then what you have to do obviously is, these quizzes, anytime you have someone take a quiz or you make a connection, for me, I'm all about my phone. So on my iPhone, I use the reminders app. As soon as I have a quiz, as soon as I meet someone, I go in there in a file and I put their name, I put the products I recommended, I put where we met, I put the date, because on that reminders app, you can actually set alarms on the notes, right? So it doesn't matter if I'm at home or if I'm in the Bahamas on, one of our trips, I have that with me. So if there's a sale for whatever drops, I can pull that open and I can see every person that's ever taken a quiz that I've ever made a connection with and their products, and I have it handy right there. So that's really big for me. Any questions so far? Sorry, I'm trying to not take up too much time. I'm going to get more into the social media aspect and what I do there, I guess. Okay, perfect. Okay, So that's more the in-person stuff. Now, when we talk about social media, again, consistency is everything. No matter how much you think you're talking about, no matter how much you think you're talking about the brand or the products all the time, you're not talking about it enough. Okay. I can't stress this enough. Like, I get it. Like, you start this off and you think like people are going to be so annoyed with me. I'm always talking about this. I'm always sharing, about these products, and you might be doing it like twice a week. Well, newsflash, so many times I talk to people that are finally signing up, and maybe they have 20 minutes on Saturday to check their Facebook. Maybe it's 20 minutes on Saturday is all they have to do, and they just happen to go to stories. Now, you don't want them to see someone else sharing about money and messaging them. You want to make sure that it's always you that they're seeing. And in order to do that, you have to be consistent and do it every day. But on that note, you want to make sure that you are sharing other things. So I know we talk a lot about our 5 pillars, or all of our things that make us, make you, you. For me, I love to travel. I love fashion. I love positive quotes. I love sharing, being out and about with friends and family and amusement parks. Like, these are all things that I love. So as much as possible, I try to share those things in my stories, because a lot of times people are drawn to you for those things, and they're going to start following you for those things. And then all of a sudden they're going to want to know more about this other thing that you're sharing, because most people want better hair and better skin. So it kind of just all goes out together. Now, something that I honestly like, I kind of, we hear a lot about like people, like some people like to cold message, some people don't. For me, that's always just felt funky. Like, I'm not a big fan of that. However, I will tell you that last month when I got, I think last month I had 13 VIPs, I want to say. And I mean, a lot of times when you're new, that's very possible. That's very easy to do, or it's easier to do because you're kind of brand new to something. But I mean, I've been doing this for 4 years. So the fact that, for having that many when not being brand new is a little more difficult, because you've kind of worked your way through your warm market. But a lot of that, about a little more than half of that, did come from connections I made bartending. But what I did last month that I kind of stepped it up a notch, that I hadn't really done a ton of before and not consistently, was that I paid really close attention to who was watching my stories. So I paid really close attention to who was watching my stories. And a kind of a bonus tip I'll give you on that in a minute, on how to make sure you're always having new people. But I kind of kept an eye on that, and I was looking and seeing who was watching my stories, and I was just straight up messaging them, because we had that weekend sale with the intense repair line and the damage repair line, and there was people that were watching day after day after day, and I'm like, okay, we have this for 3 days. I'm gonna kind of just go nuts with this and see what happens. So I was just voice memoing them, and I'm saying, like, hey Coco, thank you for checking out my stories. We have this awesome sale on this intense repair line and damage repair line. If you feel like you fit into one of those categories, do not hesitate and reach out, because I've never seen a deal like this before. So this is a really great offer. If you're not, no big deal. I could not believe how many people were showing interest in either telling me, yes, tell me more about it, or, not really one of those issues, but I could use this, this, and this. And through doing that, I surprisingly got so many prospects. And during that sale, I got a lot of VIPs. And again, what else I did was send the hair clips, right? So if I didn't do the voice memo and I just sent a little clip, because there are times you can't send a voice memo, you might be out somewhere or whatever. I just sent a quick little message, and I was like, thanks for watching my stories. I appreciate it. I always like to give them an out. Like, if you're not interested, no big deal. Like, no big deal if you're not, but I got a lot that ways. And the biggest thing is you can't worry about the couple people that you think are thinking A, B, and C about you, or you're being annoying, or you're being this or that. Okay. You have to take those thoughts and get rid of it. And, obviously there's lots of ways to do that with all the self-development this company offers us, but the faster you can get to that point where you are looking at it as to, who am I going to help today? Who has been having these issues with thinning hair and, they're down about it? Who am I going to help today? Instead of like, who am I going to annoy? Right. Because that's the way that you're going to get past all this a lot faster. So I see who's watching my stories. I thank them for watching. I offer them a solution to the problem, and then I give them a way out if they're like totally annoyed with it. Right. Let's see what else. Oh, posts. So consistently posting is obviously another big part of this business. Now, posting every day, you're obviously posting about a lot of different things. Now, this is something I learned really early on with all of these posts. I still, and no offense to you if you're doing this, like we're all learning at different rates, but we cannot be posting ads, like the straight up like Monate ads that they're sharing with us. People, everybody can do that, right? People want to connect to you. So even if Lana Day, you look at your hair and you're like, okay, like, and just something you're really thinking, like, can you believe that this is day 4 hair? I use this dry shampoo, it's the best ever, and this is day 4 hair. Something that simple with creating that curiosity. If you have a good rapport with people, they are going to ask you what it is that you're using. Okay. And then in that sense, you can simply say, hey, I'll message you, and then take it to Facebook Messenger. You don't want to tell them on the post because people see that and then they're not going to ask you anymore. Or maybe their cousin Sally sells money and now they're going to just reach out to them and want to know more about what you have. So these are all ways that you can create the curiosity and be consistent on a daily basis. And I promise you, okay, if you do this for a week and it doesn't work, don't message me and say like, Karmin, I did what you said and nothing's happening. Okay. I'm talking, you have to do this for like 90 days straight. Okay. I want to see you in your stories. I want you to, talk to the lady at wherever you're going, at the laundromat, at the mall. If you do these things on a consistent basis and you get their Facebook or Instagram, as you could tell, Facebook's my jam. I know we all love one or the other. For me, I have gotten 90% of my VIPs from Facebook. The rest are from in person. I think I've gotten 2 from Instagram because it's just not really my jam. But wherever is your platform, you have to be consistent in all those areas, and you have to have people get that quiz, get their results, and have their results. That way, you're able to reach out during sales and keep following up. And I promise you, it will happen. Okay, it's honestly just a matter of not giving up. There's no such thing as talking about money too much. Someone's always watching you. And if you're growing your social media in the right way, okay, this is what I was talking about, that last tip I'm going to tell you. I started Money in February of 2018 with about 800 friends. Okay, I now have, I think, 3,200. And the way I have done that is that every single day I add 5 to 10 new friends. And I do that by finding mutual connections. I look at them and it says, you have 26 mutual friends. I pull them up. Maybe I went to school with 6 of their friends. Maybe 4 of their friends are already my VIPs. They look like somebody I can connect with. Maybe we live in the same area or go to the same places on vacation, and I add them. The worst thing that's going to happen is that they don't accept me. They don't accept me as a friend. And guess what? You're never even going to remember that anyways. So who cares, right? But the people that do accept me, I just start loving on them. I start commenting on their posts. I start asking them questions. I start, and I don't mean like, you can't just be like cute top. I'll say, hi, Michelle, how's your day? I love you. I love your top. Where did you get it from? And people will love the compliment. They'll respond to you. And then what's going to happen? Your relationship's going to build. They're going to start showing them your stories and they're going to know more about you. And that's how you're going to build. And that's how I've built genuine relationships. And that's how I always have new eyes watching my stuff on a consistent basis. What does it say? Can you give an example of how you would lead the conversation to Monate with someone you don't know? Yeah. Are you talking about the business more, or are you talking about products? Because I'll just say, like, product related. I just simply, like a typical thing people ask when you start talking to them is, what do you do? Right. So right away for me, I can tell right away if someone's more into the business or the products by just telling them that I'm partnered with the #1 premium hair care brand in the world. And they're like, wow, how'd you get into that? I'll say, well, I actually managed restaurants for 18 years. And they're like, and then they're just kind of like, well, how the heck did you do this from that? And I'll just kind of tell them, I was the person who was sick of working Christmas Day, and I was sick of working, every Thanksgiving and every weekend. And I have a husband with a regular schedule and I wanted more time freedom. So, when Dawn presented this to me, I knew I had to try, because I didn't know what the heck else would I get into after managing restaurants that long. Like, I didn't know where the heck to go. So something was telling me this was the thing I just had to try. So I don't know. I find any reason to bring up money. I probably say it 30 way too much, but that's
Wow. I loved everything you said. I got to be honest with you. And, I gotta tell you, I've ignored my friends. I really have, because I always went after people who I didn't have a lot of friends, mutual friends with. And so going through my friends list and then finding the connections through them, and you're looking for those VIPs. You're looking for, obviously it's non-Monate people you're trying to go after.
Yeah.
But I think it's fantastic. And the other thing that I talk about a lot is every time you step out the door, you have a chance to come back with somebody. You're going to meet a person you've never met before.
Mhm.
Guaranteed. People can't tell me there's not a person they can find,
No.
because there's always someone when you step outside. And I just love that. You are fearless in engaging them and finding a way to have that in and taking it a step further. And I love it. I love everything about what you just said. So I don't know. Anybody have any questions?
I will say too, while they're asking questions, I will say too, like with that, on that note of like having mutual friends, it pays off really well too. Because even when I am bartending and someone, I have them pull up their phone, a lot of people are like asking me right away before I even have to ask for their social media, what my social media is. And most of the time they'll pull up their phone and we will have some mutual friends, even if it's one or two people, and then I just hope that I know that I happen to know where they're from. And then right away, that's even that extra step. Like, and I'm like, oh yeah, I used to manage her at this restaurant, or, we used to take, whatever together, like a workout class, or, and having that extra thing instantly kind of makes them say, oh, wow. Like they almost instantly trust me a little more because we have that connection too.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else? Listen, Carmen, it was amazing having you on. I'm gonna download this and get this posted right away in the group, because I loved it so much, and your information can really help everybody get more VIPs. And I can't believe you got 13 last month. Guys, I don't know about you. I'd love to hear anybody who's been in the business as long that can find a path to that now. Now, I think my best has been like 6 after, Roxy obviously grew them fast when she did, but now it's not as easy, and you just have to continue to consistently work at it.
Yeah. And too, like one more thing with that, with that being said, with the, bringing, obviously the more VIPs you bring, because obviously once in a while you do bring on these rock stars right out the gate that have never tried the products. But for me, a lot of the most successful people on my team were VIPs first. And it's actually really great because Melissa and Angie and Michelle, I think they're all on here. I've signed them up as market partners all within the last 3 to 5 weeks. And they were all VIPs for like a month to 3 months before and fell in love with the products. So, obviously like the more VIPs you're bringing on and they're falling in love with the products, it becomes really easy to upgrade them to market partners, because you kind of just start planting those seeds early on when they're messaging you and saying, oh my gosh, like I love these products. I can't believe what it's doing for my hair already, or my daughter's hair. And you can say, girl, like you love them so much. And I know you're going to tell people. So, you need to think about doing the business, because not only can you, help other people, but you can create this second stream of income, because I know you're going to help people and I appreciate you sending the people my way, but why not, keep them for yourself and start that, nice little second stream of income on the side. So the more VIPs, the more people you can convert as well.
Awesome. Jessica, did you have a question?
Yes, I did. Sorry, I couldn't get my computer to unmute. So going back to where you were talking about the reminders app, what can you tell me exactly what you were meaning by that again? Because I got kind of lost because my kids were telling me goodnight and I just.
Yeah, no worries. I started doing that early on, because for me, when I was managing restaurants, I'm like, what do I have with me anywhere I go? And I actually am a paper person. So I do have some stuff on paper, but this for me is a really easy way to keep organized, because if you are an Apple person, and I'm sure other things work this way too, but no matter where I am, my reminders app is on my desktop here. It's on our, iPad we travel with. So at least on the iPhone, comes with the phone, and if it's not on yours, you might have accidentally deleted it, you can bring it back. But it's a reminders app, and in here in my lists I have people that have skincare interest, people that are market partner potentials, And actually I have it. It says next market partners, next VIPs, people interested about the next product launch. So even in my nations, when I'm in there and I'm filming the new product coming out and people are messaging me, I'm adding them in there about being interested about the new product launch right then. That way, when I come home, I have the list on my computer. So when you go in there, if you go in there and you just start in the reminders app and you start a list, I'll pull up my VIP one. I will just put you know, Jody N reached out on 11/17/21. Curly girl. Her hair is dry. She needs this product, this product, this product. And then if you want to, on each individual thing, you can actually set an alarm. So you can set an alarm. I did this today because I got a new market partner potential that I reached out to. And she asked me to follow up on Monday so we can set up lunch next week. So I went to her little row and I set an alarm on it. So I wrote a note, but then this way, right away, it'll remind me on Monday morning to reach back out to her. And then if I'm not home with my list, I have my phone to remind me wherever I am.
Yeah, because I have an Android, so I don't know how Apple runs, but we have has a reminder app.
I don't know. I bet if you Google it, I bet if you like go on to Google and you just say like, what's the equivalent for Android to this? I'm sure there's something.
Yeah, because I'm a paper person too. I've been doing like my list with that, but you're right. Like if I'm out and I don't have my phone or my paper,
yeah,
like, where am I gonna put those people?
Right. If I'm in the middle of some other state hiking and the sale drops, like I want to be able to be like, okay, like who needs to know about this, and so that makes it just super convenient to have that everywhere. And I love that you can set alarms on it. Like that's huge.
And it looks like you can set alarms on this too, and you can add categories and stuff like that too. So that might be what I can do when I'm not at home.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, I have had this since the beginning. I started that right away, like, and I get so excited because with this last sale with the Intense Repair product line, I had someone that I had reached out, and I keep track too. I try to keep track of how many times I reach out. And I had someone who I followed up with over a dozen times that I stopped following up with more than like once or twice a year. And I followed up with her about the Intense Repair line. I was actually leaving a doctor's appointment. And she's like, call me right now. I want it. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. But yeah, it's good to keep track for sure.
And yeah, you called her, right?
I did. Oh, like at the Cleveland Clinic, I called her. I found a quiet hallway and I called her.
That's awesome. Anybody have any other questions?
Hey guys. So apologies, I'm out walking my dog right now. So hopefully my phone doesn't cut out. But I feel like this is my main problem, as well as a lot of other people, is just the organization of your 70s list or your whatever list, the potentials. I mean, I feel like I write it down. I try doing like categories, just being organized and not losing track of everybody.
Yeah.
So Karmin, you're saying you strictly use your phone and you use this app.
Yeah, so I strictly use my phone in this app. However, so Stacy's not on, but one of my mentors, Stacy, she a few weeks back, she spent some time here with me in November to do a money event. And she told me how she used to, like she's like, she didn't do it anymore, but she used to, when she started, have a list of like people she's manifesting for her team. So I do. I have all that strictly in my phone, but I do have a list of like market partners on paper sitting here staring at me every day. So that is the only thing I really have written down. I feel like for me, I can be a lot more effective and consistent with the phone list, again, because I have it everywhere. Like I'm not going to have my notepad on, Fremont Street when we're in Vegas next month, but you better believe I'm going to have this, so it's for me, it's the best way to be consistent is to have that. And because I keep track of the products, when we have the damage repair line, I can go through and it says damage repair line. So it just, it helps me keep organized to be able to follow up and to have it on my actual being all the time.
Yeah, and I just want to add to that, Amy, whatever, you really got to look at it like this is just what she's really saying is have the list of people that you go to when the flash sales drops at your fingertips or whatever works for you. Maybe it's the reminder app is perfect. I love the fact that you can set alarms on individual reminders and things like that. But it's if you feel like it's a lot of work to do the work to remind yourself, you need a different system, right? And worst case, pen and paper and carry this book around. This book, believe me, it's got names in it that I write down, but I also put in sheets of paper when I carry it around, just because it works for me a little more consistent. I've got the phone, I've got this, but at the end of the day, somewhere in the mix, I like the pen and paper. But whatever works for you, that's really what you want to continue to focus on.
Heck yeah.
And whatever's easy and you're going to do, I guarantee when you're not going to really do it. So give it a try. When you know you're not going to do it, switch to something you're going to do. Because it's about the consistency. It's about the ease of access. It's about doing those extra steps that Karmin just talked about. And that's it. And by the way, I love the bartending still. Roxy had me Uber driving because
Yes.
I need more time with people.
Yes.
I don't get that
100%.
10 second. I needed 5 minutes. So I would have prospects who I could make connect with me for real.
Yes.
And that's really what's about. So find a way to be out, to meet people, to have that 5-second conversation that turns into a Facebook connection.
Absolutely.
So,
and now it's my side
awesome.
hustle. My husband asked me, well, when you hit director, are you going to quit bartending? I said, probably not. Like I love it so much and it brings me so many new people. It's like, hey, if it brings me happiness and lots of new people, because here, in the house, you get kind of lonely too. I like to get out and about, and it's a great way to meet people for sure.
It is. All right. Well, thanks everybody. We've been here for 30 minutes and it was great, packed with good information. Watch it again if you missed any little pieces. I think there's a couple pieces I want to go back over, but I'll put the recording up. And I just can't thank you enough for taking the time and sharing with us all. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.